Welcome to the Scenario Podcast, your guide to mental health and well-being. Each episode, we uncover practical tools, discuss expert insights, and explore how supplements can transform your mental health journey. Get ready to learn, grow, and thrive with us.
Welcome to the deep dive. Look, if you're like us, you want to stay sharp, right? Grab that key info quickly, understand it deeply. But this world moves fast. It demands focus. So how do you keep your mind really firing on all cylinders? Today, we're digging into something fundamental, a natural fuel for your brain, the B vitamins. Specifically, our mission is to, really take a deep dive into three key players, B6, B9, and B12, and see how they genuinely support memory and, long-term brain health.
And that support it's absolutely critical because let's face it, brain power isn't something we can just take for granted, especially over time. The signs your brain might need a bit more fuel, they could be subtle, maybe forgetting names more often, or that really persistent brain fog feeling when you just need clarity.
Yeah.
Or maybe you just notice, things feel a bit slower mentally. Our sources keep highlighting that these common issues, whether from stress, maybe diet, or just aging, they often tie back to B vitamin levels. A deficiency there is frequently a first red flag. And for a lot of people, fixing that deficiency, it's a scientifically solid way to get things running better.
Okay, let's unpack that. So we're not talking about, every B vitamin right now. We're zeroing in on the three heavy hitters for memory and brain structure, B6, B9, which, you often hear called folate, and B12.
Right. And what's really neat is how they work together. As a team, collectively, you can think of them as regulators for your metabolism at the cellular level. They manage how cells use energy, how they maintain themselves. For the brain specifically, they're like the maintenance crew and the communication network all rolled into one. So let's start with B6. Pyridoxine. Think of this one as the communication facilitator, or maybe even the synaptic accelerator. You absolutely need it to make neurotransmitters.
Neurotransmitters, those are the chemical messengers, right,
Yeah.
between brain cells.
Exactly. They let one cell signal the next. If B6 is low, those messages get slow, maybe a bit fuzzy. But when your B6 levels are good, you efficiently produce the chemicals that define your focus, your mood. Things like dopamine, serotonin, and GABA.
Okay. So it's not just abstract chemistry. Dopamine, that's for drive and focus, right, to get you started.
Yep.
Serotonin helps with mood stability.
Correct.
And GABA, that quiets the mental noise, helps you concentrate, maybe lock in a memory.
Precisely. It helps filter out distractions.
So the real benefit for you listening is maybe faster recall. B6 supports working memory, boosts processing speed, and it could cut down on that mental fatigue, that, 3 p.m. slump. It just keeps the communication lines clear.
That's a great way to put it. Keep the lines clear. And food sources. Pretty common stuff, actually. Poultry, fish, potatoes, chickpeas, even bananas.
Yeah.
And lots of fortified cereals have it, too. Relatively easy to get, but absolutely essential.
Okay, B6 is communication. Now, B9, folate. You said this is where it gets really interesting. The cell protector.
Yeah, I think so, because B9 has this vital dual role, essential for DNA repair, keeping the blueprints intact, and also for supporting the growth of new brain cells.
New brain cells, okay. That's important.
But here's the really crucial bit about folate, and this connects everything. It's about managing homocysteine.
Homocysteine. Okay, what is that exactly?
Right. It's an amino acid. It occurs naturally in the body. But when levels get too high, often because your metabolism isn't clearing it properly, it starts acting like a toxin in your bloodstream.
A toxin? How does that affect memory?
Well, high homocysteine is strongly linked with inflammation, damage to blood vessels, and basically accelerated cognitive decline. Folate, working with B12 and B6, is absolutely needed to break down and recycle this homocysteine. Think of it like cleaning up metabolic waste that would otherwise harm your brain.
Wow, okay. So folate is like the cleanup crew. That makes the benefits super clear. Better memory recall, supporting brain development, which matters at any age, right? And reducing the risk of mild cognitive impairment down the line by taking out that cellular trash.
Exactly. You got it.
And for B9, you need to eat your greens.
Definitely. Leafy greens are fantastic. Spinach, kale, that sort of thing. Lentils, too. Oranges. And again, fortified grains are often good sources.
All right. B6 for communication, B9 for cell protection and cleanup. That leaves B12, cobalamin, the nerve maintainer.
Yes. The nerve maintainer. If folate cleans up, B12 is more like the structural engineer. Its main job, maintaining the myelin sheath.
The myelin sheath. That's the protective coating around nerve fibers, like insulation on a wire.
Precisely like insulation on a wire. Without enough B12, that insulation degrades. The signal gets weak, fuzzy, transmission slows down. or even fails. That protection is vital for all nerve cells, especially those controlling thought and memory in your brain. B12 is also key for making healthy red blood cells and, again, neurotransmitters. But here's the big warning. B12 deficiency is surprisingly common, especially as people get older. And the really scary part, the symptoms can actually look like serious conditions like dementia or even severe depression.
Whoa, hang on. It can mimic dementia. That's genuinely alarming. So if you or someone you know is experiencing things like memory loss, confusion, maybe sudden mood changes, forgetting things often, or struggling with focus, maybe even nerve tingling or balance issues, that needs looking into urgently.
Yes, urgently is the right word. Because the longer a B12 deficiency goes untreated, the higher the risk of causing lasting structural damage to the brain, damage that might not be fully reversible.
Okay, that puts a fine point on it. So food sources become critical here. You said B12 is mostly in animal products.
Primarily, yes.
Yeah.
Meat, fish, eggs, dairy products. Those are the main natural sources.
Which means, and this is important, if you follow a vegan or strict vegetarian diet, you really need to focus on fortified foods or supplements. It's not really optional if you want to avoid deficiencies.
It's pretty much a requirement for long-term health on those diets, yes.
Okay, so we get what they do at the cellular level. B6 communicates, B9 protects and cleans, B12 maintains structure. But the big question for you listening is probably, does boosting them actually work clinically? What does the long-term data on supplementation show?
Right, the proof. And this is where we circle back to that homocysteine connection. The findings from longer-term studies on B vitamin supplementation are actually pretty striking. There are longitudinal studies, especially looking at older adults who already have some mild cognitive impairment and, crucially, elevated homocysteine levels. These studies have shown that consistent, often high-dose supplementation with B6, B9, and B12 can actually slow the rate of brain shrinkage.
Slow brain shrinkage. That sounds huge. Is that directly because it's lowering the homocysteine, reducing that toxic effect you mentioned?
Absolutely. The mechanism seems clear. Lowering homocysteine reduces that stress, that inflammation on the vascular system and the nerve cells themselves. It cuts down on the inflammatory damage that contributes to brain atrophy over time. And this is why B vitamin therapy is strongly linked to reducing risk factors for conditions like Alzheimer's disease.
Okay, but wait. Lots of people try supplements, right? And maybe they don't feel a dramatic change right away. So are these benefits mostly seen in those high-risk groups, the ones who were already deficient or had high homocysteine? Or is there something in it for, well, everyone?
That's a really important distinction. The most, let's say, dramatic reversal effects are definitely seen in those who were deficient or had high homocysteine to begin with. That makes sense. However, researchers also use specific tests, memory tests, attention tasks like recalling lists or complex focus exercises, and they consistently find that supplementation can lead to improved scores on these tests, even in people who started with seemingly normal baseline levels.
Ah, okay. So even if you're not deficient, it might still optimize things.
It seems so. The improvement might be more subtle if your levels are already decent, but it's often measurable. It suggests B vitamins can enhance cognitive performance generally, not just fix a major problem.
Right. So if your job, or just your life, demands a lot of thinking, sustained attention, this isn't just about preventing decline. It's potentially about optimizing your current performance, too.
Exactly. It's about maintaining that peak processing power by ensuring the brain has the fundamental building blocks and maintenance crews it needs for robust nerve and cell health.
Okay, let's bring this home then. For you listening, what does this mean day to day? When is just eating well enough, focusing on those B-rich foods, and when should you seriously consider supplements?
Well, for a generally healthy person, say under 50, eating a varied omnivorous diet, getting enough B vitamins through food is usually quite possible. But the key question becomes, are you in a group that might be at higher risk for deficiency or absorption issues?
Right.
And our sources point to several groups where supplementation, especially for B12, is often highly recommended.
Okay, let's break this down. You mentioned age earlier. Why does absorption drop off after 50?
It's often down to stomach acid. As we age, many people naturally produce less stomach acid, and you need sufficient stomach acid to basically release the B12 from the protein it's bound to in food so your body can then absorb it.
Ah, so even if you eat enough B12-rich food, you might not actually get it into your system.
Exactly. That's a common issue for older adults. Then, of course, the dietary factor we talked about. Strict plant-based diets mean B12 supplementation is essential. And finally, and this one catches people by surprise, certain common medications.
Medications. Tell me more about that link. That feels like something easily missed.
Yeah, it is. Some widely used drugs directly interfere with B vitamin absorption. Two big ones are metformin.
Which is used for diabetes.
Correct. Very common. And also acid-reducing drugs like proton pump inhibitors or PPIs that people take for heartburn or reflux.
Wow. So those meds can actually worsen the absorption problems, especially in older adults who might already have lower stomach acid.
Precisely. It compounds the issue. So the bottom line is anyone in these groups, or really anyone already experiencing that persistent brain fog, memory slips, unusual fatigue, you should talk to your doctor. Get your B levels tested. It's important to catch a deficiency before it potentially causes longer-term cognitive problems.
That is such a critical point. And let's just say it again clearly. Always, always talk to your doctor or a healthcare provider before starting any new supplement, especially if you're taking medications or have other health conditions. You need that medical guidance. Don't just guess.
Absolutely. Essential advice.
Okay, last practical question for this section. If someone listening wants to focus on just one, which B vitamin helps most with memory? Is there a star player?
The magic bullet question. Based on the science, especially that homocysteine connection, the combination of B12 and B9, folate, really stands out for long-term memory and protecting brain structure. Think of it like this. B12 is the guardian of the nerve structure. Folate is the key repairer and waste manager. B6 is absolutely vital too, the crucial supporter making sure the communication signals themselves are fast and clear. But for that core structure and reducing toxic buildup, B12 and folate are arguably the heavy hitters. Yeah. But honestly, you really benefit most from the whole trio working together. Hashtag outro.
Okay, so wrapping this up, the core idea here seems pretty clear. Managing your B vitamin intake, whether that's through being really intentional with your food choices or using targeted supplements when, it's necessary, it's a direct investment in your long-term brain health. Your focus, your mental sharpness, it's like essential maintenance for your cognitive engine.
Absolutely. And maybe here's a final thought for you to chew on. We talk a lot about B vitamins in the context of aging, preventing decline, and that's critical. But B vitamins are essential across the entire lifespan. Think about kids' custers. B12 is crucial for their brain development, their energy levels. Or if you're a student, a professional needing peak mental performance. The B complex supports concentration, focus, clarity during demanding tasks. So this isn't just about safeguarding your future mind, it's also about fueling your best thinking right now.
A powerful reminder. It's about optimizing at every stage. Stay sharp, everyone. Stay curious, and keep fueling that incredible brain the smart way.
Thanks for tuning in to the Scenario Podcast. Don't forget to visit scenario.com for more expert tips, articles, and supplements designed to support your mental health. If you enjoyed this episode, remember to subscribe and share it with a friend. Until next time, take care of yourself.